Hello, everyone. Today I'll be discussing two iconic artists, Frida Kahlo and Salvador Dali, whose work, though grounded in personal and surrealist expression, intersects with today's themes of environmental awareness, identity, and sustainability. I'll connect their approaches with ideas from Julie Decker on local, decolonized creativity, and Leon's and Bosworth on activist aesthetic. Frida Kahlo was a Mexican painter best known for deeply personal, symbolic works rooted in identity, nature, and pain. The Frida Kahlo Museum notes how her home, La Casa Azul, was filled with indigenous plants and traditional Mexican materials, reflecting her respect for the natural world and local culture. Dali, a Spanish surrealist, was known for imaginative dreamscapes. According to the Dali Museum, he was inspired by landscapes, animals, and natural decay, often blending surrealism with ecological ideas long before climate discourse was common. Sources from FridaKahlo.org, museofridakahlo.org, thedali.org, and biography.com. Frida Kahlo's use of plants, animals, and the earth as symbols of identity reflects what Julie Decker calls co-creative and local approaches to art that embedded cultural and ecological knowledge. That's from Module 3, by the way. In works like Roots, Kahlo connects her body to the soil through vines and cracks in the ground, showing how human life is physically and spiritually tied to earth. Dali's surrealist landscapes, on the other hand, show time melting into nature, a haunting reminder of impermanence and change. His portrayal of dry, cracked land can be reinterpreted today as symbolic of environmental degradation, also known as like global warming, climate change, Frida's home turned museum has become a space for education and community storytelling, showing how personal spaces can serve public sustainable roles. The museum includes gardens with native flora, reflecting efforts to preserve both cultural heritage and biodiversity. Dali designed the Dali Theater Museum himself, blending architecture, installation, and curation. His interdisciplinary approach aligns with what Leons and Bosworth describe as activist aesthetics, artists transforming how museums engage audiences with larger existential themes. That's from Module 6. Neither artist explicitly address climate change, but their legacy influences how today's museums and curators interpret sustainability through space, identity, and symbolism. Today, both artists are referenced in exhibitions addressing sustainability. Kahlo's deep connection to land, culture, and the effects of physical and emotional trauma are increasingly relevant in conversations around environmental justice. Dali's use of organic decay, symbolic transformation, and surreal nature elements invite reinterpretation in light of ecological collapse. As Sarah Sutton discusses in Module 1, the museums are evolving to become platforms for climate communication, and using historical artists like Kahlo and Dali helps bridge audiences emotionally and imaginatively to environmental themes. To conclude, while Frida Kahlo and Salvador Dali lived before modern climate activism, their works express timeless messages about a relationship with nature, time, and change. Their influence on museum spaces and public imagination demonstrates how art can bridge between cultural identity and environmental urgency. Their legacies continue to inspire curators, environmentalists, and communities toward more integrated, reflective, and sustainable features. This is the bibliography, my sources.